You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you will ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Brian Hopper-LaGrassa and Shane. We interrupt this broadcast for a breaking news bulletin. My days of man-whoring are officially over. Smith, joined by Scott the Hitman Hucke for what I am deeming a special Halloween treat today.
Yes, we are doing Hatchet II.
Hatchet II, the Adam Green Spectacular.
Yes. Like we said, sequel September, bleeding into October. It's sequel October. We don't play by the rules. We don't even play by our own rules anymore.
Nah.
I don't think you have rules.
We don't.
Yeah.
We have no rules.
But before we get into this movie, I gotta ask, was that the longest nickname you've ever given me? Because it kind of just kept going.
I think I gave you one that was a little bit longer back in the day, back in the old.
Yeah.
Oof.
Some of those nicknames got a little dicey back in the old.
Yeah, back in the old.
I mean, it's the old. We're getting close to episode 200.
We are
Really
nearing
close.
there for sure.
And if you count Final Friday, we're well over 200. But we don't even keep track of special milestones on that show because it's the B show.
It's the B show.
Who cares?
We don't care about the B show. We don't care. But it's
Whoa, we care.
spooky season. Spooky season is still here.
Yes.
Hatchet 1, I think we reviewed last year.
Yes. With Mike G.
Or was that 2 years ago? Was it last year?
I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track. I know Mike G was on that episode. That is the one thing I do know. We've upgraded in guest.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys just hate Mike.
Well, he's a little bit of he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
First and foremost, he's an asshole.
If you watch Final Friday, you know Mike's just going to come in and dig at me and Brian nonstop. So we got to stick it to him when he's not around.
It's non-straight digs from this guy.
Yeah.
He's a fucking digger. He's a little skullduggery.
Well, Mike, I love you. At least someone has to.
What are your
right?
thoughts on the Cajun lady?
Oh my God, that is probably the craziest.
He's like,
Then they continue
this
with it.
pretty Cajun lady that comes in.
At
And
first,
then they name a boat after her.
they do.
Yeah.
I didn't even
The Cajun lady.
Yeah.
When they go hunting, that's the
Yeah.
name of the boat.
It is.
So Hatchet 2, I like because I like the story of
Yes.
Victor Crowley a lot. I
Just-
feel like he's got a good slasher villain story.
I feel like it's almost similar to Jason. You know, not the same events, but a fucked up
Boy gets
father.
murdered in a sad way, comes back to kill everyone at a swamp camp. Yeah.
murders.
But he gets that cancer curse. Because remember we'll get into it, but his wife.
That's the craziest part of any of these movies, honestly. Like, yeah, he's a what's it called? Like, you can't kill him.
He's a ghost.
Yeah,
He is absolutely a ghost.
he was created from a paranormal event in a movie
Voodoo.
of, I guess.
What I do like though is how they're Tony Todd professes that he knows how to stop the curse.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
Well, no. It's technically
It could have worked, but they didn't kill the right person.
because he was
That
already
was the
dead.
issue, yeah.
Well, but all three guys were technically dead.
So my theory was that he had to kill the uncle himself.
Yeah.
And since leukemia
Victor
took
Crowley
the
didn't get the opportunity
Yeah.
to kill.
Yeah.
So then it would have been impossible to stop the
Exactly.
curse.
Exactly. I think that's what we learned is that the curse can't be lifted because the other uncle had already succumbed to leukemia.
That might be the most sane thing Shane's ever said.
And
I can agree with
that's
it.
probably. I mean, we still don't know if that would have done it.
Yes.
But
Right,
it's a safe assumption to say that probably was the case.
Yes. So Hatchet. So before we jump into the spooky pit, I just want to say this series of 4 movies, Hatchet 1 through 3 and Victor Crowley, it's one of my favorite. I think it's consistently one of the better ones. I don't think there's a bad one. Now, I wanted to bring that up because I think Scott would disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we remind everyone what your initial thoughts or your review on Hatchet 1 was? For those that didn't see the episode.
And watch and listen to that episode. I don't know if it was on YouTube. I'm pretty sure at that point.
Yeah, I think it is.
Give that one a listen.
Yeah, I mean, we all liked it. And by we all, I mean me, Brian, Mike G. We all think it's good. Strong 7 to 8s all around. I'm going to say most of the series is like that. And now I'm going to say Scott's going to disagree.
I went with, in my head, I'm probably going with a somewhere around a 6, whether it be a few points below or a few points above. The acting just wasn't there for me. And the story gets way better in Hatchet 2.
Sorry to interrupt your blathering idiocy. But when you okay, so to be fair, everyone has their own opinion, right?
Yeah,
blah,
of
blah,
course,
blah,
of
bullshit.
course.
But a few points in the scale of 10 is a huge swing.
Well, I mean, 5.8 to a 6.2.
Okay.
We don't go in decimals here, though. We're not IMDb.
Yeah, I would even say
even do that
the
on
gap
IMDb.
of 1 point could even be monumental. I think that.
Yeah, no, sorry. I meant, let's say it's like a half-point
That's
swing.
why,
each
because
way.
we don't do points on the show. We've never done it, but we fill in the adjectives to determine the points.
Yeah.
So strong as you're
Yeah.
getting a 7.8, 7.9.
I actually do love. I think you're the one who introduced the strong
weak.
7.
It's a weak.
Okay.
So it can't be a 7.2. I'm that's a very light 7.
Yeah, I do. I love when we're just that's a soft 6.
It's a light to modest 3.
I can get behind that, yeah.
Yeah, no. For me, this is a strong 7.
Hatchet 1.
Yeah, and even this one,
Well,
I would say
no, we
this one is a
can't go there
straight
yet.
7.
Maybe we start getting a little.
Yeah.
You're getting a little ahead of yourself.
Let's get more creative though. Maybe this could be an adulterous 7 for a variety of different reasons. I think the adjective fits.
You're not wrong. All right, I think we hit all the main points. You want to jump
All right,
into
episode's over. We're good.
Yeah,
We're
we're done.
I more so meant let's jump into the spooky pit.
Hatchet 2, released in 2010, Marybeth escapes the clutches of Victor Crowley, only to head back into the swamp a second time with a crew, a real skeleton crew, looking to cut the head off Victor Crowley and end the Bayou's curse for good. Film is directed by Adam Green and it stars Danielle Harris as Marybeth Dunstan, Kane Hodder as Victor Crowley, Tony Todd as Reverend Zombie, Perry Shen as Justin. You gotta love the Perry Shen.
I love that Perry Shen is in every movie as a different character, but all like brothers.
Yeah, they're all brothers. I don't. Why did they come up with this concept? I have no idea. Does Perry Shen write this? Does he produce it?
I don't think
it's just so random, but at the same time, is it a stereotype that all Asians look the same?
I don't I actually don't know. Because I was wondering the same thing. It's are Adam Green and Perry Shen just friends where they thought this would be funny? Yeah. Or because it's random. Why Perry Shen?
Yeah. And there's Sean Ashmore, the Sean Ashmore cameo just to get killed. We can confirm he was already famous at this time.
Yes, we can. He had done the X-Men already. The kills in the Hatchet series, though, are what make the series
They're great.
too.
Yeah, they are good.
I'll jump into the beginning of the movie. We cut literally right where the first movie ended. We see a girl that wasn't in the first movie, but is the same character. Now we have Danielle Harris playing Marybeth Dunstan.
Previously played by, I think her name is Tamara Feldman, was the previous actor.
So right away we're starting with a recast.
Super downgrade.
I'm going to say upgrade.
Disagree. So I kind of would agree on the performance point of view. I don't think Danielle Harris killed it in this movie at all. However, I would say that Danielle Harris is incredible. So I kind of agree to disagree and then to agree again.
I just like lighting the fire.
No, it's fair because there are points we said where her accent kind of just goes haywire. It's almost like I'm doing the accent.
When she gets highly emotional,
yes,
she cannot portray that Louisiana accent
while crying.
While getting very, very upset.
Yeah. There's maybe I said it, there's maybe one scene where I'm oh, that was a real heavy Louisiana accent. Where did that? And that was in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, no, it's
He killed my dad.
it doesn't work. I do think she's much better though in the third movie.
Yes, she is. I mean, she's still a badass.
Oh
I don't
my
want to take
God,
that
yeah,
away from her. She
definitely.
crushes at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, she literally destroys Victor Crowley.
Fucks him up.
This girl that's probably 5'4".
Yeah, she is
110. Yeah, no, she's awesome. All right, so she escapes from Victor Crowley. She gets saved by the guy who drinks his piss in the first movie, Cracker Jack, or what was it, Jack Cracker?
Jack Cracker.
Jack Cracker.
Offers her some of that tastiness.
Yeah, she drinks the piss.
Yeah.
And then once he figures out who she is, that he's like, "You're Dunstan's kid. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, well, The reason being is because he thinks that she's inviting the curse to the house.
Yes. So she's thrown out. He starts looking through some videotapes of the guy from the first movie from Bayou Beavers.
What was the guy's actual name? Was it like Jim Calhoun? I forgot his name.
It is something like that. It's something absurd like that.
He goes by a fake name. So
Yes.
I don't even remember either of them, to be honest.
But Bayou Beavers, based out of Newark, New Jersey.
Yes, it is, which is something I don't think either of us caught at the first time, but I'm looking it up now. Where this guy?
What did you not catch?
That he was from New Jersey in the first one.
Yeah,
from,
his character.
from Newark specifically.
Yeah.
I'm just looking up what the guy's name was in Hatchet because I don't. It's some Jim Calhoun. Wait, isn't that the coach of like
It's not
UConn?
His name is definitely not Jim Calhoun.
Doug Shapiro.
Yeah.
We were way off.
So Doug Shapiro's his fake name. And then I don't even remember what his real name was on his license.
Fucking Bayou Ben Shapiro.
Yo, it's sick because I thought you were so close with Jim
You're like,
Calhoun.
Jim Calhoun sounds right. Let's go with Jimmy.
Guy's name was Doug Shapiro. Not even close. No, it couldn't be more off.
Nope.
Yeah. So we're I love this scene because he's like watching the tapes, and like it starts off normal where it's just like girls who hate their dad showing their tits, and then he's like on a school playground soliciting 14-year-olds. It's kind of wild.
Like, who said this? The girl. She's like, I'm 14.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm 14.
And then Jack Cracker's like, oh, that ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
Shuts it off.
And then that's when Victor Crowley comes in, does that. We just watched a movie. Oh, the Metal Face, where he just punches in and just rips guts out.
I love how he does this, and there's like no blood. It's just the
Guts, yeah. Well, just like Metal Face. So he then, I don't think this is physically possible.
Oh, that he gets to the end of his rope.
No, that he then strangles him, but is able to decap him with the guts.
Yeah.
I don't think guts are strong enough to decap a head. I'm gonna go on record in saying that.
Drinking piss does things to you.
Maybe.
Have you ever held intestines in your bare hand, Shane?
I haven't.
Those razor blade intestines.
Yeah, he's got some sharp intestines. It does make a pop of blood spray. Scott mentioned this, and we're going to get into it. A lot of some of these deaths, or you can tell there's just like a key grip or whatever they're called in the back, just throwing a bucket of blood at a wall.
But I love it.
It absolutely works for this.
It's great.
It does.
Yeah.
It's just supposed to be just like slasher, gory, stupidity.
Yeah.
But it's not like overboard.
No, it's perfect for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So then Marybeth's going to go back to to Louisiana. She's going to go to Rev Zombie, played by Tony Todd again. Of course, known for his roles in Are You Scared 2 and the Final Destination series, and nothing else.
Nothing else. Nothing else.
And she's going to tell him what happened that night. The boat sank. Victor Crowley's out there. He's going to make a deal with her. He's going to be like, I'll go with you to the swamp if you bring your uncle, which is a very weird request when you hear
Why
it.
you want me to bring my uncle? My Uncle Bob? I love Uncle Bob, by the way.
He's great. Uncle Bob is
is.
great.
He just gets upset. He just gets angry. He just has like this like mean like grin all the time.
He's played by Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That's sure not the Tom Holland we're used to, but the Tom Holland that
We're not
gonna
used
get.
to.
I saw that in the very beginning, like when I went on IMDb, I saw that Tom Holland was in the movie, and I was like, I'm not even gonna I'm just gonna watch the movie and see where his like childhood started as an actor, and then it was not Tom Holland.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that Tom Holland's childhood career started as an 80-year-old man in Hatchet.
Curious case of Benjamin Button.
Yeah. So, this is, I guess we should talk about the backstory of Victor Crowley, because this is where they get into it.
Exciting. Love the backstory. Love it.
So basically, we learned that Victor Crowley's dad, Thomas Crowley, was married. His wife got a sickness, and she had a caretaker, a Cajun woman, come in. Things got a little hot, a little spicy.
Well, they liked
Yes.
each other, but the thing is, his wife wouldn't die.
Yes.
So like they had to like hold their love, but then eventually it just started getting just too hot. She was
Yeah.
getting too sick.
So they started just like banging like next to the wife while
Literally,
she was dying.
That is the most
Like, no joke. I'm pretty sure she was on the couch because they were doing it on like a cabinet next
in
to
the kitchen that was like an open walled kitchen right next to the living room.
Yeah.
It's like literally like what's behind us is where they were,
Yeah.
except it was a half wall. So you
Maybe
couldn't
she
see it.
couldn't hear her. She was just so the pestilence. He was so sick. Was it cancer? It was cancer, right?
It's cancer. So of course she
Stomach
wakes
cancer.
up. She does the.
Did she die yet, or is she not dead yet?
I don't think she dies until after the curse.
I didn't know if like the fucking woke her from her slumber.
I think she's dead.
Oh, so you're saying she curses them after she dies?
I don't know.
I thought she cursed them and then died.
She looks
Maybe.
dead.
Yeah,
She looks.
She does
super-
look dead.
She looks super dead and super.
I don't know.
Demonized.
It could be either way. I have no idea.
Doesn't matter. The moral is she puts a curse on Thomas Crowley and his mistress.
She palms
And the baby.
She palms that like her stomach where
womb.
that baby is gonna be born out of.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
literally just curses that future half Cajun, half white.
Yeah, which the kid does not come out half Cajun. It comes out half tumor because
Half full tumor.
because Victor Crowley is hideous. He's not going to have friends. He's going to have a terrible childhood.
You think his only friend is his dad?
Yeah, that's an issue. So,
Can I make a comment about
oh, you make any comment you want.
Just don't take it back.
Thomas Crowley? His neck is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
He's got a pretty marvelous neck.
Yeah,
His head. He doesn't have a neck. He just has a giant like head.
yeah.
That
He
goes down to his chest.
he kind of reminds me of Kurt Angle.
Perking.
Perk Angle.
But yeah, just like flabby.
Yeah,
Flabby.
I think it's flabby.
I think I went with-
I don't know if flabby's a word.
I went with
Are
like
you
sloppy.
calling the great Kane Hodder a flobster?
I guess I don't know.
So we're gonna learn these kids are gonna kind of torment Victor Crowley. There's gonna be 3 kids. They're gonna throw some fireworks into the cabin. Cabin's gonna get lit on fire. Thomas Crowley's gonna try to save his kid. The only way he can save his kid is by hitting him in the face with a hatchet.
Yeah. Well, he tries to like break down the
Yeah.
door. Instead, like if he breaks down the door with the hatchet, he actually just hatchets a tumor. The tumor he has as a son,
Yeah,
but it's his only son. And
you're not wrong.
Killed the son. Trying to rescue him.
Yeah. So he dies. Thomas Crowley lives out the rest of his life just staying alone and secluded. Once Thomas Crowley passes away, the swamps were quiet that day. And Victor Crowley rose from the dead.
He rose from the dead. And then like you'll find out Reverend Zombie, aka Tony Todd, aka Are You Scared Too? He calls him a repeater, which means that he's like reliving that day. Like he just keeps he needs to keep getting that revenge for those 3 people that lit it on fire. And he just slaughters everybody that comes into the bayou, as you've seen if you watch the first movie. And we do know that you only see one of those people at this point, and that's her father, Samson.
Yeah. So this is when we're starting to learn like what's happening. So we know her father was one. They kind of hint you kind of get the idea that's kind of why he wants her uncle to come, because he had something to do with that
Reverend
night.
Zombie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
He doesn't outwardly say it yet, but you're like starting to get the idea like there's something going on. He has a plan.
No, for sure. Absolutely. And I think another important detail that will just absolutely make put things really into perspective is that Reverend Zombie is not his real name, and it's Clive Washington.
Yeah, that I saw that up because we have it in front of us.
I just love how mean he gets.
It's just such a-
Uncle Bob is just such a stickler.
Yeah. I actually
No
really
words.
like the guy. I like Tom Holland.
Yeah,
Like he's actually really good as Uncle Bob.
I thought he was gonna be like some shit actor, but then like watching him through the movie, he actually did.
Like I
pretty
wonder if
well.
I've seen him in other things and just don't recognize him, because he is like actually probably the best actor in the movie.
How about Danielle Harris's Twisted Sister
I
T-shirt?
just noticed that.
Shane was like, "Oh, please God, give me a Danielle Harris nip slip in the shower scene."
I did. I don't think I might have said it once. But so Danielle Harris recruits her uncle Bob. They all then now have to go to this like nighttime gathering Reverend Zombie's having. He's going to try to get a bunch of people to join. And this is the most Brian LaGrosse shit I have ever seen in my life, where as they are walking in, the guy's literally like, "Can I offer you a Chips Ahoy cookie and an acid tablet?"
Oh
like
my
it is
God.
absurd.
There's so many. You're right. You're on the money. Like when I was watching this, I'm like, "This. I wish I was here. This is the greatest thing ever." And we're watching the scene right now. You're like, "This is the greatest thing ever." You have the whole town. You're going on a Victor Crowley witch hunt. Perry Shen thinks he's French. He's really Asian. Oh my god, it's just absolutely fantastic. They're serving cookies. Vernon wants more cookies. Did you think Vernon was funny?
No.
Oh, okay. He's kind of annoying after a while.
Yes.
So fucking annoying.
He had moments, but like when he's just singing biscuits and gravy and biscuits with the biscuits
Oh
and
my
the gravy,
God.
I wanted to blow my own brains out.
You know who he kind of reminds me of? In the Resident Evil movie, I can't remember his name. The guy goes, GTA, motherfucker.
Oh,
when the
Omar
stars- Yeah, Mike Epps.
Mike Epps. Who's Omar Epps? Oh, Omar Epps is actually the guy from House. So I wasn't too off.
I thought you were just like making up a first name. But
no,
yeah.
no. He's a different actor.
So yeah, Mike.
Is Omar Epps
He
the guy in
reminds
the beginning
me.
of Scream 2?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh. So he reminds me of Mike Epps, just not funny.
Are they related?
No,
Omar Epps and Mike Epps?
I meant.
Definitely.
Oh, I thought you meant this guy.
No, I'm not being serious. I don't know. I was just curious.
I'll give it a quick goog.
Yeah.
A googly gog.
Because I'm going to actually say who I thought the guy in this looked like.
I don't think he looks like him. I
Yeah,
think
but-
he tries to play the same character.
Okay,
as
well,
him.
that's more so what I mean. Because
Okay.
he reminded me of Sinbad from Jingle All the Way.
Fair.
Because they go,
yeah.
'Cause they both go on, like-
he actually looks like him.
he goes off on rants and
think.
random tangents. Just like the guy did in Jingle All the Way, and they just reminded me of each other.
That's the guy that like.
He's trying to get Turbo Man.
Arnold's like going against,
Yes.
right? Yeah. The postman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So now we're just every black guy looks. The
No,
same.
no, I'm not even saying they look alike. I'm saying they act alike. Like it's just the way their characters were portrayed.
This maybe we're going off topic, but these two, the blonde chick and the bearded hunter,
They're not okay.
is like the stupidest storyline of this because
Oh my
he's
God.
like, I'm getting married, like we can't do this again, and then they just bang in the woods. And
To be fair, that banging scene is one of my favorite scenes of the movie.
I think it's just because it's a little flavor that doesn't really go too far, but
Yeah.
if it was for that death scene, it was fucking
Yes,
worth it.
because
100%.
we'll talk about it soon. But like that death scene,
We've talked about that death scene.
It's not even the death that is great. It's the lead up where she's just saying things to him, and she's like, "Yep, you're great.
Yeah.
Tell me you love me. He's like, yep.
It's so
How
good.
much do you love me? Yep.
It's so fun. He's like, no, and then she's like, tell me it's better than baby Jesus. He's like, that's kind of weird.
It's like, it's a little inappropriate.
It's
Yeah,
so,
that was funny.
I
Actually,
love Secret Society Tony Todd with the purple robe flexes.
bro. It's some eyes wide shut shit. It's so funny.
He goes, you all gather around. We're hunting Victor Crowley.
Half get up.
Half the room leaving immediately. They're like, we're out of here.
So yeah, just to get through this,
Yeah.
they ask who wants to hunt Victor Crowley. He's going to offer $500 to come and secure the boat, $5,000 to anyone who brings him the head of Victor Crowley. Half of the people leave. I would say what? It's like 8 people stay.
Yeah, there's some people that don't even believe that, like, Victor
exists.
Crowley even exists.
Yeah.
nobody. Yeah, I don't think anyone does.
No. Well, I think some people might, just because it's. Some people are just like, yeah, I'm not going to die. Because to be fair, they do know people disappear in those swamps.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
wouldn't
true.
want to go in those swamps for $500.
Yeah, I agree.
Cletus is just going to go for a nice little gator.
Yeah.
He's going for why I want to go to Louisiana, obviously, to kill alligators and eat them.
Exactly. And then just mount their head on the table behind us.
100%. You hunting Victor Crowley?
No. There's no chance I would have went on this.
100% no.
It's way too dangerous. Okay, so let's get past this. So going into the swamp, we got Reverend Zombie and Perry Shen's character, because I know one of his names is Sean. I don't remember if it was this one or Hatchet 1.
Sean was Hatchet 1.
So which one is he in?
Justin in this
Justin
one.
in this one. Okay, so it's Reverend Zombie, Justin, Marybeth Dunstan, Uncle Bob. Another very important character, a bald guy with a long beard. Trent, he's there. Then you got Avery and John, which is the Sinbad guy and the silent man, John.
I love him.
John is amazing.
John's
Fucking
great.
amazing character.
Yeah,
Then you got Cletus and the other guy Cletus is with.
Him.
That
Yes,
kid.
yeah,
Yeah, like
Chad.
Yeah,
You're right.
They
And
make
then you
fun of
got
him.
the blonde girl and the other guy.
Avery?
Is he Avery?
She's Avery, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the couple.
The couple.
The couple. We'll call them the couple.
We'll call them the couple. So that's the group that's going into the swamp. And right away, they get in the swamp. It's daytime. And she's like, oh, I don't know how to get there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to be fair, I get that because it's a swamp and she was panicked the entire night.
Probably not as small as they make it out to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they go for like a couple miles in that boat ride in the first one. So.
Yes. So they're everything seems to be going fine until eventually they have the great idea of splitting up.
And that never works.
No, it doesn't.
Do you know what I do love, and I do want to point out? I love how he's like, the whole idea is like he wants them to go there essentially so the curse is lifted and they own the swamp. Essentially, Reverend Zombie can do tours on the swamp. He's like, we're going to be rich.
Yeah.
He's not going to be rich from doing swamp tours.
No.
Like, he thinks he's going to monopolize the swamp tour trade? What's the revenue looking like? He thinks he's going to make him rich.
Because that's the issue.
He's got like fucking 2 boats.
Because if he opened the swamp, there's going to be rival swamp tours now.
100%.
He actually would probably make more money doing the shady swamp tours.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to pay for an OSHA license or something like that, whatever it is. So, yeah.
Also, note that what's this guy's name?
Trent.
He, I said Rob Zombie. Zombie told Justin to make sure that whoever he gets, he has to get Trent.
Yes,
he has to
Trent
be
has to
included
go.
in this.
And that's why I went Uncle
and he
Bob
has to talk. Zombie has to talk Trent into staying because Trent was going to leave.
We'll just talk about it now because we're going to spoil it shortly anyway. The whole idea that Reverend Zombie has, it's a good time to bring it up, is that he believes if Victor Crowley kills the 3 people who caused the fire, it will lift the curse. The 3 people being Trent, who you just mentioned, the dad, who has already been killed, Samson, and Uncle Bob, because he believes Uncle Bob was the 3rd person there.
Yep.
And he knows that they were the 3 because Reverend Zombie was supposed to go with them, but he chickened out.
Yep. Good chicken out.
Yes.
It's a really good chicken out. But now, my whole question, and just like, I know like he wants to lift the curse and have this boat tour, but would you actually go out there with them knowing that Victor Crowley's real and murdering everyone?
No. She just wants to.
I get her.
She wants to go back just so she could bury her family. Like,
Yeah.
Which is also one of the most ridiculous plot lines of all time because you literally just watched
Everyone else
10
get
people get murdered.
Yeah.
And you want to go back?
I also think she low-key wants to kill Victor Crowley.
Well, she does. She said that was like a bonus or something like that. Yeah. So, but like she saw what fucking happened to all of them.
Yeah, there was like sand belts and shovels, and he actually, the first kill of that movie, he just runs up and rips the guy's face in half.
Yeah.
Which is actually still one of the best kills in the whole series.
It is. I still think the fucking scene is pretty great for me. Like, I can almost cement that as my Necronomicon kill for this movie. But there's some good ones though.
There are great ones.
It's tough.
All right, so let's start talking about them. So they're separated. We already mentioned that. The first 2 group we get is Chad and Cletus, and they're going on a little gator hunt.
Yeah, because they don't care about Victor Crowley. He doesn't even think Victor Crowley exists, Cletus. He just wants to hunt the gator because he knows those exist.
Yes. Now, this first kill that we open with here, is it the most brutal kill in this movie, or is it a different kill, you think? Because, like, he jumps on Chad, and he has the hatchet in his hand. And instead of hitting him with the hatchet, he turns it sideways and just repeatedly beats his mouth in.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I feel like that's
not an easy way to go.
No, because it's long. Like, you're not going to die from the first couple of swings.
You're just going to, that must feel so weird because, like,
Asian lady.
you're fucking, like, your blood is just going, like, down your throat and being recirculated.
So you're drowning and you're getting
your face
beat
beaten
to death and you're bleeding to death.
And you're staring at probably the most hideous human being.
That's actually the worst part, yeah.
Because obviously Justin's death is like up there as like pretty brutal too.
He gets.
I feel bad. He's so nice, and
that's what it looks like.
It just like proves to me like if you're an asshole, you won't be killed nearly as bad as someone who's generally a nice person.
Yes,
because Justin's been like the nicest guy like going on this trip, and he gets one of the worst death scenes.
Just like Chad, like
it was long.
He just like he seemed like a normal dude who just wanted to make a quick buck and like
literally just wanted to make some quick money on the buy.
Yeah, it's sick. So, yeah, Chad gets his face caved in with this hatchet. Cletus is then running away to his boat, and he's revving up the engine, and you just know where this is leading to.
You get your classic propeller kill, but like when you,
man.
I feel like he puts his face there, and you see his face, and it just looks like it just like spread open.
It's like a Last of
Us
Us character. There's a Last of Us character that like has that like flower head looking thing.
Yeah, it's like the pluming fungus.
And see, for me, I didn't play Last of Us, but I watched Stranger Things, and I thought it was the Demogorgon.
Yeah,
mouth.
So it looks like that too. It looks like both of those things.
Yep. It goes either way.
Yeah, no. If I played Last of Us, I probably would have agreed, but I don't own a
They
PlayStation.
didn't show it on the
Such a
TV
good
show.
game.
I think they showed it at
Did
one
they?
point.
I think they did.
I think early in one of the earlier episodes, I think they showed it.
Yeah.
Is it a clicker?
It's not a clicker. This clicker's got like that weird. Like,
Yeah, it
looking,
has like the mushroom.
mushroom
Yeah,
face.
because they're blind.
This
yeah.
is like it opens. I actually think you see it in the one big scene where
Where the ground caves in?
yes, I think
Okay.
you see one in that scene. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Great TV show.
It really was good. I can't wait for the second one. I never played the second game. Heard it was much worse, but still solid. I heard overall, and I'm excited to watch it because I never played the game.
Same. Okay, so we got 2 people dead. Let's cut now to the next 2 people who died. Basically, this goes into that mode most movies go into. Well, once the group splits up, people just keep getting murdered sporadically.
I think like there's another movie where like I think it takes 50 minutes before these people start dying. Like
Yes.
they get into it, which I don't mind that much. Like, I think they did an okay job with that. I actually did like the story.
And that's the thing. This is why I like the series, because it delivers in both aspects of giving you a story you're interested in, and then just making sure it delivers for the wait.
And like you love Voodoo Todd. Like Voodoo Todd is a sell in himself.
Now, I know Scott's going to disagree with his soft 6 over here, but
Does he have a purpose for that stick?
that's his walking stick.
Have you ever seen Papa Shango?
No.
It's the Godfather, before he was the Godfather in WWE, was a voodoo priest named the Papa Shango,
Oh my God.
who walked around with a huge staff like that.
I think all he had a staff, and he actually went whiteface.
he did.
Papa Shango was whiteface.
He had white all down his face. Actually, kind of like Reverend Zombie did in this. So
yeah.
interesting. Okay, so let's talk about this couple. They're just gonna start going and banging in the woods.
Oh yeah.
He's hitting it from behind.
He's hitting it from behind for sure, and she's just like, "Tell me you love me. How much do you love me?" And
He's like,
the one-word response is he's like, "Yeah." He coughs. He's like, "Yep." Yep, and then she brings up Jesus, and he's like, "This is a little inappropriate." And he's like,
then-
"How about
and then he
baby
brings up
Jesus?" He
baby-
goes, "About the same."
He says about the same. So yeah, roughly the same. And then he gets the quickest death of the whole movie, though. He just gets a quick head decapitation.
still
Yeah.
banging.
Still banging harder.
I think he goes faster once
does.
his head's gone, and then he just kind of stops, and then she's doing all the work.
I love it. And then she's like, "What are you doing? Don't stop."
I think that's
Pressing
what-
She's
backwards.
like, did you fall asleep?
Yeah.
When I first watched this, I think that was like the really point where I was like, I love this movie. Like when I saw that, I'm like, this is wild.
So then she turns around. She sees Victor Crowley behind her.
Well, no. First, she sees a headless man
yes.
still
Yes.
being inserted into her.
Yeah, definitely an awkward situation. Then she gets a hatchet inserted into her.
Yeah, she
Into
does.
her puss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not got to feel great. It's got to feel pretty bad. Then he hatchets her in the chest, or he gets her in the head. That I don't remember.
It was quick either way. I
Yeah.
don't remember what it was, but yeah.
I think it was on their face, maybe?
It might be her chest, because doesn't he pull it forward and her like whole body rips forward, and then you just see a one of those blood buckets gets thrown.
Yeah.
maybe
But you don't
that-
actually see her chest.
The gaffer tosses the blood
yeah,
bucket.
Like you see him about to pull, and then it cuts to the woods, and you just see the blood
On the
bucket.
tree.
Like you call
Yeah.
it. Is it the cat? I don't know what the blood bucket guy would
I
be
don't
called.
know. It's probably Uncle Bob with a bucket on the side of the shot.
Oh my god. So while this is all going on, Uncle Bob, Trent, Rev Zombie, and Bob find the house.
Yeah.
And they're just looking through the house now. And I kind of love how like Victor Crowley has a noise he makes when he's getting close. It's just like a
Isn't he crying for his dad?
Yes.
Is he saying, Daddy?
Oh, is that him saying daddy? I
think so.
I don't think, yeah.
'Cause in the
I couldn't
first
hear
part,
through
They
the tumors.
explain it. They explain that in the first one.
Yeah.
He makes like his daddy call.
Yeah. That's
His daddy call.
That's when not Justin
Call his
say,
daddy.
If you listen closely, you can still hear the cries of
Might have
Victor
been my worst
Crowley.
joke of all time.
It's okay. We all have misses. But yeah, no, you are right. That is what he's doing. I'm just dumb. So they're in the house, and this is when I think Rev Zombie explains to Justin that like Victor Crowley needs to kill the 2 people here, and that's why.
He explains it in the house is towards the end.
We're right in that house part now, because the only people left alive are them all in the house, and then John and the other guy.
I do know that Perry Shen just like definitely absolutely tries to hide in this
closet.
What we can't explain is the other killer, Vernon, and
let's talk about
and
that.
Silent John. I think his name is John, because they're like smoking dope, right?
Yeah.
They're just probably hitting that trank, and then all of a sudden you hear a chainsaw. And they're like, what's going on over there? What's going on? And then all of a sudden he comes out with the longest chainsaw in recorded history.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Where does he
Maybe
pull this
10
out of?
10 feet.
Yeah.
It's huge. And he actually chainsaws both of them.
But the way it's shot is great because you just see like this much of the chainsaw, like the end of it, and then it gets
Longer.
bigger and bigger. And then literally goes across this little opening in the woods that's like 10 feet wide.
And they are perfectly lined up in a row where he gets in between their legs and lifts them up.
Both of them, yeah.
And you actually see their testicles fall down.
Oh, I missed that.
Incredible. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we'll show you.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty wild.
it's pretty epic.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was good.
So now let's finish up in the house. We got 5 people left.
And we got Perry Shen who's hiding because he's scared.
Yes.
Justin.
And he has a spider on his arm.
Biggest spider I've seen of all time.
Yeah, that spider's fucking
And he doesn't
huge.
freak out.
Yeah, he freaks out when he realizes Victor Crowley's been hiding in the closet with him the whole time.
Well done.
Which
So-
you knew was coming.
Yes. And this is the thing, and it's why this movie strictly establishes this man is a ghost, so I'm okay with him appearing in different locations.
Yeah, because like I do think about that, especially in that scene in particular, because he's like, breaking branches or making noise like behind the house or wherever they're shooting. And then he gets in the closet. So like the closet's here. The back of the house is like all the way over here. How did that sound from over here go to here in like 2 seconds? But
He's a ghost. He plays by ghost rules.
I think his backstory is like pretty cohesive. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of like gaps.
No, it's just more so like you have to accept that it's a very paranormal event.
Yes, it is.
He's a paranormal for sure. He
can do what he
he's got
wants.
revenge on his mind. Like he is evil in some way, but it's hard to say because like he was dicked over in a bad way.
Yeah. He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
He technically is still like 9 years old.
He doesn't even know his mom's black.
That's a great point.
Didn't even know he didn't even know he was Cajun. Like he's got to take like an ancestry or something.
So let's go through this, which is either the most brutal death in the movie or the runner-up, is where Perry Shen runs away, takes a hatchet to the back, instantly paralyzing him.
Yeah, and it gets his spine. He's like stuck to the wall.
Yeah, so he can't move, and he just starts revving up the friggin'
Sand blaster.
the sand belt, and then just takes it to the back of his head, and the noise it makes. Oh, like
Yeah. Did we talk about the scene where, and if we did, I apologize, where like right before Perry Shen dies is when Marybeth tells him that his brother, who he's looking for,
that's right. I didn't mention
is
that.
dead. He goes, is he really dead? He goes, she's like, yeah, oh yeah, he's super fucking dead.
Yeah.
And then she tells him, well, I should also let you know now that the reason why Reverend Zombie is like calling for this and has been so adamant about it is because the curse will only be lifted if your uncle is dead, because Samson is dead.
You're right.
And now he also needs this guy Trent dead.
Yeah, you're right.
And she's like,
That's
is
a very
that
important
true?
scene.
Yeah, because he dies, but she runs right out.
Yeah.
Uncle Bob, it's a trap.
Oh God. So that's right. So as he
20 minutes
gets
later.
his head sand belted, and you actually see his brain in a hole in the back of his head. Then he
Sanded.
just smashes his head. That is gotta be
It's a rough one.
really bad.
Yeah,
way
it's
to go.
a rough one.
Because you gotta think there's like levels to this. There's the paralyzing hatchet, the sand belt thing, the smash. So yeah, she runs out to warn her Uncle Bob, but Victor Crowley then comes out and starts just beating the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
And so
Dude, him and Trent have a great fight.
they do. They do.
Like, of all horror movies, it's probably one of the better fights that I can think of off
Well,
the top
Trent
of my head.
actually gets the upper hand immediately.
Yeah.
It's like a wrestling match.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
it is.
And
Attitude Era.
so Mary Beth's gonna be taken away by Rev Zombie because like Bob got his head knocked down and hit his head, and so he's bleeding. Trent is fighting, and Zombie's bringing Mary Beth to a back room to watch it all unfold. He locks the door. He shoots the lock. Trent, like you said, was a fighter.
Yeah, they leave the house, right? And then lock the door so that Uncle Bob can't get out.
Yeah, and Reverend Zombie just like, fucking get him, Victor.
Yeah.
Get him.
Have your meal, Victor.
You think I'm gonna be rich?
That's all he's thinking about.
See, Trent actually would have won that fight. I'm going to say Victor Crowley cheated a little by kicking his knee backwards.
Kick his knee backwards. Yeah,
Which
took his knee out.
The way how easily he did it was just he could have done that.
Strong.
Yeah, he could have done that at any point and just ended that. But
Trent's a big man, though.
no, it was very entertaining. I was very happy with that scene.
I mean, he does about to get curb stomped, but to the extreme where like he gets his Victor Crowley like puts his mouth on a table. He kicks the back of his head so hard that his head actually goes flying, blinks 3 times, and the scene ends.
Yeah, just the top hat hit the jawline up is what goes flying across the table.
There was an earlier kill scene when they were just like showing like a montage of Victor Crowley kills where he just like pulls some guy's jaw off.
It is insane.
Yeah,
was
that
wild.
was the
Insane.
beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It was like the random people. Yeah.
So now it's just down to the last 3, and Bob's begging them to like let him in, and Marybeth's crying in her both Creole and non-Creole accent, and Rev Zombie's just telling Victor Crowley there he is, kill him. And this is where you were talking about. This scene is where Bob disappears, and you just see blood being thrown through like holes in the cabin,
like into the windows.
It would have been fucking so epic if Bob walked out
and just was holding Victor Crowley's head. Yeah, but this is where we learn Bob was not the correct uncle. Bob was just a friend that she calls Uncle Bob. Her actual uncle died of leukemia 4 years ago.
It's such a stupid thing because there's no way.
kidding me.
Yeah, there's no way that she knew like what Rev Zombie's plan was. Because does he ask for Uncle Bob by name?
No,
he just asked for an uncle.
For an uncle.
Yeah. So she makes it seem like she knew the whole time. When she turns around, and she goes, "Yeah, but what you didn't know." I'm like, come on. But yeah, so that was my one gripe with that part.
But what you didn't know.
That was my one gripe with like that part of the story, but it was fine. So
yeah. Now Victor Crowley's gonna show up. He's gonna have this fight's not as epic as the Trent fight. They're just gonna choke each other a little bit.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty sick though.
This is because he cuts Rev Zombie in half, and then I don't know if this is physically possible, but he grabs him by his spine and rips his body out of his skin like a glove.
This is like a Mortal Kombat like brutality.
Yes, it is 100%.
He literally just rips the almost like it's like a fillet.
I love that.
It's like a fillet without skinning. It's like from the inside out.
Grabbing the spine. I thought that was one of the greater out of the first 2 movies.
Killed a good character, but for sure.
Yeah. Then Marybeth just goes to town on Victor Crowley.
Yeah, well, she has the upper hand now, and she just starts. Is it an
hatchet?
axe?
A hatchet.
Yeah,
I think it's
she
hatchet.
takes the hatchet.
She just like hits him from behind, and then just gets on top of him, and just starts destroying and like mushing his face. I'm actually surprised she didn't cut his head off.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was just like a splatter of blood.
Yeah. I also do love the end. Is she just gets the shotgun, shoots it, and literally the movie instantly.
Well, that's how the first movie ends. It's like just a weird cut, like out of nowhere.
That, though. That's like the better version.
I'm
of the
pretty
Metal
sure
Face
though
series.
they had the idea of it being a trilogy to start, so they kind of always had a plan.
I like it though, man. I really do like it. But like I said, like this guy is a ghost. He repeats. I mean, that's pretty confirmed. So like we'll see what happens. But he at the end of this movie, he doesn't have a face. It's a blood pool.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I did love like back to that when she's mashing his face pretty much like that. Yeah. With the hatchet, and then it's like you think it's over, and she walks away, and then she comes back like 3 seconds later with a shotgun and fucking blasts whatever's left of his head off.
It's super cool. And I like
that was a good scene.
I like the theme of just like making sure killers are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait to get to the third one. Which maybe we'll do it sooner than
we don't have to wait. Yeah,
September, because I actually really want to. Like you've said, I kind of want to start wrapping some series up.
We have 2 more because we have the third, and then we have Victor Crowley.
We've started because we're gonna start another long series within the next 3 weeks, so we got to start wrapping some of the other ones up. Yeah, that's Hatchet 3. I mean Hatchet 2. So I guess you want to go right into reviews.
Let's do reviews.
I'm giving it a straight 7.
Ooh.
Not hard, not soft. This is a straight 7 movie. It's not as good as the first one, which I also believe I gave it 7, but it's still really strong. The Hatchet series will never not deliver on the kills. Spoiler, 3 and 4 also going to deliver on the kills. It's very well done. And like you said, I love the backstory. I love how they got into the backstory. It's interesting. And other than the really bad accent, for the most part, the acting's really good in this movie. Like
True.
you said, Justin is a very likable guy and he portrays a very likable guy. Uncle Bob literally kills it. So
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say though. It's weird to say. Like for me, like I thought that like her performance was the weakest.
yes.
In a movie where like number one, I think she's great in like everything else she does.
100%, 100%. And like I said, I also think she's better in the third one.
Yeah, but like more good kills, good characters. Finally, you get a good slasher with like a really strong like backstory that fills in well throughout the movie, where you don't have to like fill in gaps in a story. Tony Todd's fucking awesome.
He really is. He
Good characters,
really
man.
is.
Like I love the movie too. I'm also at a 7 at Touffet.
Nice.
I'm gonna round up and give it a straight 7.
Oh,
Because otherwise it would have been like an above adulterous 6.
I love this.
But even just talking about it, it brought me up and like made me realize, it's a straight 7. Because I did the first one not as strong. I just thought the acting wasn't there overall, and it was just like very cheesy. And then
You can say that about Doug Shapiro.
yeah. And then, the story didn't really form, I feel like, until this movie. But I think this movie really made me a big fan of this series, which I actually haven't seen 3 or 4
that's
yet, so.
fair.
You'll enjoy them.
I think like I can see what you're saying. These two could be like interchangeable for me.
Okay.
I do, because I do like elements of the first one. I think the first one's probably like more of a funnier movie.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
Joel David Moore is just so good.
It's a different vibe.
It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
He also meshes really well with his friend Marcus in that
Yeah.
movie.
And what's so interesting is that the plot's not super different. They both go to the same place. But it's just like good characters and both and good kills. And Victor Crowley's fucking great.
He
Great
is.
killer.
Oh, here comes the
Propeller kill, yeah.
kill.
All right, so while we're watching the propeller kill, now's a good time to talk about our Necronomicon.
Ton of good kills, man.
There really is.
Yeah.
So I'm either down to the Justin Perry Shen kill or the sex scene kill, which I would give it, because we only choose one person, so I would give it to the guy getting beheaded, because I think he's hilarious in that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't give it to both of them.
No, I also give it to the guy getting beheaded.
Yeah.
I have all the good kills, and there's a ton. I have to give it to this because I've talked about this at length, me and you, several times while creating this, like, these podcasts.
Yeah.
We've talked about this multiple times. This kill is legendary.
Yeah, you know what? You're
with him.
right. I'm going to go with him, too. You're right. Because there's probably like 10 episodes of this podcast that have talked about this
We've
scene.
referenced this. Him getting his head cut off and continuous actually banging faster.
All right, so then that's why it kind of seems familiar to me then. All right.
We have talked about this scene at length on just random ass episodes.
In reality, it may not even be it's not even the craziest kill in this movie, but it's the best.
It's iconic.
It's just
very-
everything that led up to
It's
it.
Yeah.
very memorable.
Yeah.
And like like you said, the build up, the talking, I guess it's that dirty, sexy talk while you have sex. He was like totally not into it.
Yeah.
And it makes
And she wasn't very good at it.
No, you don't just be like, am I better than baby Jesus? It's kind of weird.
They tried to throw like a little Louisiana spice in there,
Yeah.
and it just didn't hit.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, that's it. We don't even need to flip
Yeah,
our coin.
I'll go with you guys on that. I'll give a good runner up to Reverend Zombie with the
Okay.
spine.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I actually don't know if I have this pulled up. I can find it real quick.
have Hatchet 2 up.
I have Hatchet 1 up, actually, because I
even
was
know
looking
if
up Shapiro.
I don't know if I'm gonna even. It's not Leighton, is it? No. Avery as Alexis Peters.
Okay, she was Avery. Wow, it's bad that we can't remember this one guy's name. He was.
Are we sure it's not Leighton?
No, it's Leighton.
It is Leighton.
Yeah,
He just doesn't have a picture. I don't recognize him from his picture.
yeah, it's Leighton. Okay,
Oh yeah, it is. All right, cool.
Leighton. You might be the most iconic person we've ever put in our Necronomicon. And we've had a lot of iconic things put in there. Suzanne's tits
Shit ton.
being the probably the number one. But like, you're someone who's been referenced back in like episode 50 territory. We were talking about this.
For sure.
And like, it would just be wrong of us not to make you in our Necronomicon. Like, you're right up there with Baby Jesus as like things I wanted in our Necronomicon.
There are some great additions to this Necronomicon over the years. We got several dogs.
But Leighton has to be number one. I think one day I'm going to go back and listen to every episode, the ending, and just make a list of all our Necronomicon picks and do a top 10 list.
We can do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's hot. So Leighton, welcome to the Hall of Fame of the Necronomicon. Scott, thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me.
See you again in 2 weeks when we review. I won't reveal what we're reviewing, but we'll see you in 2 weeks for another one.
You got plugs, Scott?
Butt plugs?
Got butt plugs?
No, none of those. I don't know. Follow me on stuff. Huckman. Instagram, YouTube, Huckman42 on everything except for YouTube. It's just Huckman.
I'm sorry. Better than oh my
The scene
God.
just the greatest scene of all time just came on. So
Fuck chocolate ice cream.
Oh, it does.
can you give me a timestamp on this? Because that's what I want to plug. Go watch Hatchet 2 and go to the 1 hour marker.
Literally an hour on the nose, and it is on Tubi. Actually, all the Hatchet movies are on Tubi.
This is also on Amazon Prime if you have that. I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, that's where I watch
Tubi
it.
is literally
Damn it.
free, but yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't want to. Yeah. Listen to our first Hatchet review. Watch this. I'm sure we'll probably do 3 and Victor Crowley at some point soon.
Yeah. And like I said, thank you again for being on. We'll have you on soon. But
Thank you
next
for having
week,
me.
we have a different guest.
Ooh.
We, keeping in the sequel thing, we were going to do Terrifier 2, and we were going to have on Caitlin.
Yeah.
She's been on such movies as I Spit on Your Grave and The Collector.
Yeah, and also Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so like oh God, this scene is fucking phenomenal. She was super scared to watch Terrifier 1. Got her through that. And then she was like super excited to do Terrifier 2. So yeah, it should be fun.
Definitely will be. So we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week at the Clown Cafe. Ooh. Have a time at the Clown Cafe.
It's gonna be Columbine.
Oh
my God.
Do you have something to plug?
Yeah.
The final pod on
she does
YouTube.
have her tits out.
I'm sorry, I just got I just love this scene so much.
Scene's over.
www.thefinalpodcast.com. New episodes every Monday for this show and for our B show with Mike G every Friday for low budget fun.
Love you, Mike G.
We'll see you next Monday.